At round 11, Bill Balance looked to clinch his second title. But a rare mechanical failure gave Balance his first DNF of the season. Balance comes to round 12 looking for title number 2. It's next on Fox Sports Net. In southern Ohio, the rich colors of autumn decorate the landscape. The stifling heat of summer months are past, and so are all but 2 rounds of the GNCC series. It's time to decide the championship, and it might happen here today. Grand National Cross Country ATV Championship Racing is next on Fox Sports Net. Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Myers. Welcome to the penultimate round of the ATV Grand National Cross Country Championship Series, and welcome to St. Clairsville, Ohio. Now, let's get right into it with a look at the points. Bill Balance is on top. Now, they get 2 throwaways. That means the worst 2 finishes will be deducted from the scores. Now, you're going to have to trust me on this. Bill Balance needs only a 7th place, and he will wrap up the title. Now, normally at this time, I would bring in Mark Hyde, and the 2 of us would talk about Bill Balance, but I thought maybe you'd like to listen to a little racer-to-racer, mano-a-mano, if you would. So Mark Hyde is standing by with Bill Balance.
Thanks, Larry. And Bill Balance, our ATV points leader and defending champion. Bill, the last race, you went out there like crazy. You were just trying really hard to win that race and seemed very aggressive to me. Looking back on it, would you change your strategy if you had it to do over again?
I've thought that on the way home, but probably not. You know, I got out there and everything felt so good after the first lap. When I took off on the second lap, the throttle was just pinned and I was ready to hang on and felt good and felt like I could hold out for 2 hours. Unfortunately, I had an O-ring blowout and all the antifreeze come steaming out of the bike and ruined the cylinder over it, but I think I would have gone back with the same strategy.
Okay, also this year, last year it was your first title. This year you tried to defend that title. Has there been a big difference from this year to last year?
There has. There's added pressure from the fans and your crew and everybody that's wanting to see you strut your stuff with the #1 plate and see how well you're going to defend it. Not to mention all the pressure you put upon yourself to try to come back, and you know you've won 1 championship and you're going to come back and try to do it again, and you expect yourself to come back and do that. But you know, I've been able to stay out in the lead with the points this year and have a cushion between me and second most of the time, so that's helped. And you know, it helps when I can make a mistake like that last weekend and still keep the points lead.
Okay, well, good luck today, Bill. And we'll go now with Bob Walker, who's with Bill's main competitor, Matt Smiley.
Thanks, Mark. I'm here with Matt Smiley, and Matt Smiley's been Bill Balance's biggest competitor all year. Matt had that elusive first championship right in his grasp up until the Millfield, Ohio race. Matt, tell us a little bit about what happened to you at Millfield.
Well, I ended up crashing at Millfield and suffered a fractured thumb. I re-aggravated again at Mount Morris last race. Doctors wanted to put a cast on it this week, but still got 2 more rounds to go. And I decided not to put one on and race these 2 races and hopefully end up number 2 for the year.
Let's go over to Matt's teammate, Bradley Page, who's standing by with Jen Hildreth.
Well, Bob, it is cold outside, but I'm standing by with one of the hottest riders right now. Brad Page has won 2 of the last 3 races, and Brad, you've got some momentum on your side.
Yeah, we've had good luck the last 3 races. We had a win right before the summer break and came back and got a 4th place at Burr Oaks, and then another win, and hopefully we'll get one today.
What's it going to take for you to get 2 wins in a row?
Well, I think this track, it looks like it's going to be a pretty technical track. It's a lot of slick grass fields. You're going to have to just be patient and ride smart.
There you have it, Larry. Brad Page trying to heat things up. Back to you.
Hey, thanks, Jen. Well, for the stars of the GNCC circuit, this is the first opportunity they have had to race here in St. Clairsville. Take a look at the Cannondale track facts. 8 miles long, and obstacles, oh, we got them. We got mud, we got tight woods. There are meadows that they'll be racing in that's turned into a grass track that will be extremely fast. Now, the riders have not ridden this course, as I said, but they did take time to walk it. Here's what they had to say.
Anytime we come to a new track, it kind of excites me. I'm definitely here early and walking the track, looking for them extra special lines. And, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a good track. It's got everything from the fast stuff to some tight stuff, and even got some pretty trick mud holes and water holes out there today. It's going to be interesting.
I like it because they've never ridden here. Nobody knows anything more than anybody else. But and of course we got a little rain last night, a little chilly. It's gonna be a little slick out there, a little tough, choppy, and a couple of mud holes. It's gonna be a good day. You know, little fields and a little bit of everything. Good to air it out and then play in the mud and get beat up at the same time.
Everything looked pretty good. I like mostly the woods part. I don't know, I struggle a little bit out there in the grass sections, but hopefully I make it up in the woods today.
Yeah, there's a couple big mud holes out there. Probably gonna lose a bike or two.
We've heard from the riders. We took a look at the track. When we come back, we'll have the exciting start of racing here on Fox Sports Net. ATV GNCC Racing on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by CD Boots, by ATV Sport, the #1 sport quad magazine, and by Cannondale. Now, our riders have moved to the start line, and look at the backdrop. Beautiful fall colors. We're just about set to go racing, and that is exciting.
Yes, it is, Larry. On a day like today, these guys are just real anxious to get at it. We have a new track and some great fall weather to race in.
Now, Bill Balance looking for his second title in a row. We'll take a look at past winners of the championship. Barry Hawk is the big guy with 7. Let's go to Bob Walker, who is down in the start line.
Larry, less than an hour ago, the balance pits were going frantic. Jimmy Duff and Bill Balance were stressed out, not getting the bike to be able to fire, pulling it all apart. They got the airbox out, and out came a little friendly rag here. Jimmy, you want to tell us what was going on?
I really was just trying to make Bill a little nervous right before the race. I'd rather even be nervous before the race instead of in the race.
Hey, Bill, all that you need is a 7th place or better finish today to wrap up the championship. Are you going to go for it all or just ride it safe?
I'm gonna go for it. I may not hang it out right off the start as much as I was last race, but comes down to the last lap, I'm there to win.
There you go. Balance is going to go for the win today, only needing that 7th place to wrap up the championship. Let's go down the line to Jen Hildreth.
Well, Bob, we haven't seen this guy since round 8 in Eurexville, but Johnny Gallagher is back with us today. Johnny, what happened to you? Where did you go?
I actually was forced kind of to take some time off of racing to pursue finishing school so I can finish up so I can get on with my career. I had a couple heartbreaks at the last 2 races. I was running really well. At Clarksburg, as I was actually leading, and had a chain snap with about a half lap to go, not even. And then at Crow Canyon, I was running really well again and blew a motor. So I decided to take a little time away from racing. Jeff Seagat and I have been doing a team series. We're doing real well in that, so kind of to get warmed up for that. And also, I just missed riding. I resurrected an old practice bike and decided to come out here today and give it one last shot. I don't think I'll be at Indiana, but we'll have to see how things go today.
We'll see how this old bike can do for you then. Larry, back to you.
John Gallagher, can you win on an old bike as we take a look at the starting field? Best riders in the country, best ATV riders, and they are going to be going fast. What about that bike?
Oh, when you jump on an old bike, it's kind of like an old pair of shoes. Sometimes it fits just perfect, and he might have the ride of his year out there today, Larry.
Well, I'll tell you what, because he's been absent and he obviously loves to ride, I'm going to pull for him. Start line is set. They are ready to go. It is a dead engine start. When the flag goes green, they'll drop their leg, kickstart the bike. Hopefully they'll kickstart the bike, and they will be off.
Yeah, there's going to be some big tension down there on the line. Bill Balance, he tried to win it all at the last race, so you know butterflies are in his stomach right now.
Well, it is. You know what? He's wrapping up the championship. One guy did not get started. Another had a problem in the middle of the field, but the rest are underway. And Balance, who is not going to go for it this time, right off the bat, is pretty close to the front.
Yeah, he's back there in about 4th place. Matt Smiley, he's jumped out there early, and he kind of needs to do that. Chris Boric is right behind him, and Smiley has that injured thumb, so his best hope today is to get out front and try to control this pace.
I imagine as the day goes on, the thumb will be aggravated even more. So if he can put some time on the field, it would be to his advantage. But look at the battle, look at the tussles we have at the head of the pack. No one is going to let Smiley. In fact, Smiley's being passed.
Yes, Chris Boric is jumping all over him here early. He's getting out to a quick lead here, and he's really letting it hang out on the grass track.
Boric grabbed himself a good line, and I think he surprised not only Smiley, but himself. He hesitated just a second when he got alongside, and then he buried the throttle, and he took the lead.
Yes, he did. We're going to go back and look at that. You can see him. He gets underneath Matt Smiley here. Got a good drive coming out of the corner, just motored by Matt, and there was nothing he could do about it. Bill Balance, he's back there looking and says, hey, take me with you.
I'm not sure if he was on one wheel or two.
Now look at here. See, Smiley, he cut that hay bale real tight where Chris Borich, he was out wider, so he's able to keep more momentum, get a better drive coming out of the corner, and out-accelerate Smiley this next corner where he jumps to the inside. Smiley, he was kind of protecting that inside line, but lost too much momentum in the process.
Here's your leader, Chris Borich. Here comes Smiley right behind, and there is Balance. He's moved up to third place, and no one is out of this thing yet. Boy, there goes Yoakley. He's back in about fifth or sixth. This is going to be a great race. I can feel it, Mark.
Yes, it is, and there went Brad Page. He's the only one of the really top riders that's back a little ways, and even he's not that far off the pace right now.
Good trail. Good trail.
Yeah, these guys are going to love this. I mean, it's a brand new racetrack. None of us have been here and ridden around this course, and that's always exciting for the guys. Everybody's, they know nobody has an advantage, so it's really a great day for racing.
Now, that's just a sample of some of the mud we'll see a little bit later. But they trucked this stuff in, didn't they? About 140 different truckloads just to make it muddy?
Well, that's the neat part about this course. It has a little bit of everything. We have some hills, we have some mud holes, we have some grass tracks. And Johnny Gallagher, he's right up in there. Doesn't look like he's got too much rust on him so far.
Well, I would guess one lap of this great track will be the best rust remover that anyone could possibly have. Right now, they're chasing Borich. He has zero rust. This guy is smooth as silk, really letting it hang out.
Yeah, and he's got a great train right behind him. Bill Balance, he looks a little bit calmer and smarter than the last time we saw him. I think he's just going to sit back there and let those guys tow him along and take him right to that second championship.
I think that you make a very good point. He's not going to let it all hang out. He's not going to take the risk that he did just one race ago. He is definitely going to be looking for a strong finish here today that will give him 2 consecutive ATV GNCC titles. Look at Borich. Look at the front three, as a matter of fact. Balance has an opportunity just to watch these guys in front of him, and anything they hit, he can, move over it and avoid it. Here's our Racer X leaderboard. We'll be back.
Shades of the Blackwater, and it's been raining all night, and the waters are flowing, and this section of track is getting full and deep. Look at this here. I'm in some high land. As I move a little more to my right, it gets deeper and deeper. And, next thing you know, Bob's going to be submerged here again, underwater. But if the riders go over here to the right, that's the safest place for them to get through here. It's about 2 feet deep. They're going to have to take it slow through here. If they try to bypass this section, go to the far right over there, forget about it. Your day of racing's over. Stay tuned to Fox Sports Net as the riders come to this section of track.
Hey, welcome back. This is ATV Racing on Fox Sports Net. Here comes your leader, rider number 14. That is Chris Borich. He's been there since a pass on this guy, Matt Smiley, almost since the get-go.
Yes, and Bill Balance, the defending champ, he's right behind him. And Bill's riding a really smart race right now. With a brand new course and all these tricky mud holes and things we have, he's just letting those guys fall around. Uh-oh, and look. William Yoakley. William was up near the front, Larry, but he's way back in 19th place right now. He must have got into a problem right off the start.
Mark, I'd have to say it is a non-mechanical problem as we go on board with our core moto cam because of the way Yoakley was moving as he disappeared into the woods. He was just giving it everything. What do we got here?
We got Jeremiah Jones. He's become a regular here on the circuit after he wrapped up his motocross title. He's been jumping in with the woods with these guys and just having some really solid rides.
He's been having fun, too. That's why he's coming out here on a regular basis. He says he really enjoys this, and maybe somewhere down the line as we come to a bottleneck. What in the world is that?
There's Chris Borich. He's wrapped around that tree right there. Chris was our early leader. The young kid jumped out there nice and quick and was having a good pace, a good ride going. And this could have been a tricky section on this new course that snuck up on him, and he's got himself all wrapped up. He had a nice lead, and now he's back in probably about 6th or 7th place if he can get going here pretty quick.
Well, he's a young rider. He was over anxious as our core motocam rider has trouble negotiating that spot. Coming up on Gus's mud hole at mile marker 5 1/4. this is going to be interesting before the day is over.
And we went from a speed race to a slow race. These guys, they came to a crawl right here. This is one of those new sections, a new race course, and nobody wants to do anything stupid right here on the first lap.
Stands to reason that if the guy in front of you made it through all right, that you are going to put your wheels in his tracks.
Yes, you are. In a place like this, and these guys too, they probably saw Bob Walker down here earlier, and wherever you see Bob, you know there's going to be problems later in the day.
And to back that up, people gather for one reason only, as Chris Borage is, well, there he is. You said 5th or 6th place, and he is in 6th. A lot of ground to make up. People gather in one spot only to watch the problems that riders are going to have. So if you see them, look out. Our leaders, the head of the pack, running through, and they're still lumped together. This is anyone's race at this point of the contest.
And not only do they want to see problems, they want to see some really spectacular skills displayed. And these guys, they have it. These are some of the best ATV riders in the world. And the way they can negotiate these obstacles are just unbelievable. And look what we have here, William Yoakley. Man, is he making a charge. The last time we saw him, he was back in 19th place, and he is charged up to 11th place already, Larry.
Now, didn't Bob tell us that off to the left, it's good, solid ground, and the water is not quite so deep? No one is taking that line. Are the people pushing them away?
They probably are. They want to see problems. They want to see these guys in those predicaments.
That sounds like the voice of experience there.
Yeah. Hey, when you get to a spot like that, you head for the spectators because those guys stand where it's dry.
Good point, and they'll get out of your way. Borage in 5th place. He's moved up 1 since we saw him just about a quarter mile ago. There's your leader. That's Smiley. Here's Balance in 2nd.
And he's followed right by Chad Duvall. Chad, you recall, missed the first 5 races of the year, and since then he's gotten better and better every race, and he's probably itching to win a race before this series is over.
Might he have been a factor in the outcome of this championship?
I think so, because he's such a polished veteran. He knows the tracks. He knows how to ride smart and not make mistakes. And he maybe could have been that consistent rider to give Bill Balance a real hard time.
Look at this course, how tight it is, and look at the riders all lumped together. Oh, this is incredible.
That's the great thing about this track. I mean, we saw them 5th gear flat out. We've seen mud holes, we've seen hills, and then those trees where these quads barely fit through, and these guys make them look like they're out on a trail ride.
And some loose rock section. Every one of the riders probably has a game plan that says stick close to the front, and as this race develops, we'll see where we are and maybe conserving something for the final stretch run. Who knows? But right now, the contest is just spectacular.
You know, we've been racing for almost a half hour here, and if you recall this spot right here, that's where Chris Borich passed Smiley for the lead, so it's been a half hour later, and Smiley's still in the same place he was.
Smiley out front. Looks like Balance has ideas. He has moved out of the wheel tracks, and here he goes. He's trying to pass to the outside. Not quite enough room. Smiley knows he's there, and that could be the intent of Balance, but Balance has company. Duvall is all over him. This is incredible stuff.
Yes, it is. And Smiley, he probably learned a thing from that Borich pass, and he wasn't going to let it happen to him a second time.
Putting lap number 1 in the book. Smiley, Balance, Duvall, and Jones, and we'll be back. Hey, welcome back to Fox Sports Net. You're watching ATV Racing GNCC style, and we have had a change in the leaderboard. Bill Balance has made the pass over Matt Smiley and now has started to pull away.
Yes, he has. Bill might have been using some good strategy here, just kind of cool his jets that first lap, learn the track a little bit, and then boom, check out.
So it is Balance, it is Smiley, Duvall, Brad Page is still in there. No one is out of this thing, I guarantee. Oh, look at the air they're getting with the front end of the machine.
And Balance is twisting that throttle back pretty good. And Brad Page, if you recall, he was the only one of our top guys that kind of got a bad start, and he has moved right up here on the leaders.
So some of the leaders would be saying to themselves, all right, look at this sweeper. Oh, and look how fast they're going. While others are saying, I can't wait to get into the good, or into the woods rather. But all of these guys can go fast everywhere. That is an incredible corner.
I cannot believe the speed these guys are generating coming off this off-camber sweeper. These guys are just flooring it down through here.
There's Brad Page, currently in the number 6 position.
Yes, Brad has been on a streak here as of late. You know, he's got 2 wins and a 4th place finish, I believe. And he's feeling very confident, riding hard, riding strong. And Bill Balance, he's wanting that championship bad right now.
A lot of this track so far has been wide open, and then they throw the tight woods or a mud section into it to slow things down. We're going to go with the Core Moto Cam, and I think we're behind Jeremiah Jones. Yeah, there's Jeremiah Jones. Well, on last week's show, we began our look back at the most historic cross-country race in history, the Blackwater 100. Here's Jen Hildreth with part 2 of the Blackwater story.
On last week's show, we began our look back at what was the nastiest and toughest cross-country race ever held, the Blackwater 100. Dave Coombs founded Blackwater back in 1975, and it became the single test that determined the ability of riders to hang tough and the worthiness of cross-country machines.
They used to have miles and miles of bogs out there, like football fields 3 times wide and out wide, and people stuck everywhere. I mean, just incredibly hard.
Never seen anything like it, really. It was one of those races that it was really fun after it was over.
It was such a big challenge that it drawed everybody from all over the world and all over the country. It was just trying to finish the race is the key. I mean, it was, sometimes you'd be out there 5 to 8 hours.
When I won that race, it meant more to talking to sponsors than winning the national championship.
The Blackwater transformed tiny Davis, West Virginia into a weekend-long carnival played out between men and machines. One can only imagine the ear-to-ear devilish smile that adorned the face of Blackwater founder Dave Coombs as he toured the countryside laying out the course. The first 200 yards, easy. Then the fun began.
The water may be only 5 inches at the start. By the time they got done damming it up, you had 2 or 3 foot. And they created the whole scenario there. I mean, it's just, they wanted it, they threw water up on the bank. I mean, you had probably a 10, 12-foot bank to go up once you go through the river. And they was constantly carrying, once their coolers was empty, they would carry the coolers full of water and dump it on the hill to make it slick. So they definitely made it a lot more interesting.
The first one that I rode, it was really nasty. I mean, we had to actually had to have people carry our bikes across the river crossings, and that was in '87.
Each year, the Blackwater drew increased entries and spectators. In the final years of its existence, crowds were estimated to be 50,000 strong.
It was unreal, and they would make human funnels, and they would direct you where they wanted you to go, not where you wanted to go. And they just spread out where and make you go into deep water or try to climb the steepest part of the hill. And you had no choice really where you were going to attack something from,
I wish we had another race like that had a very high attrition rate and one that you had to do well to be in some kind of shape and be a rider to finish it. To have people that are just coming up to give them something to shoot at, and it's good for the fans. It's good for the sport. Like I said, when you won the Blackwater, it mattered more than I did than winning a championship, a national championship.
Well, we'll never see the likes of Blackwater again, I assure you of that. Back with our leaders, there is Bill Balance looking for his second championship. And there goes Duvall, Boric following him. They're looking for a drier line going off to their right, and it was successful for both of them as Balance drops back to third.
Yes, those guys did a great job picking an alternate line there. And Bill, he was pretty conservative there. He's probably thinking championship. He didn't want to go charging through there. And uh-oh, we got some lap traffic coming up here. Could present some problems for our leaders.
No problem for our leaders. They found a way. Look at that. There's no room there, guys.
Boy, Chad Duvall, he just looked up there, saw a little sliver of daylight, man, charged right through there. And we'll be back with more on Fox Sports Net.
Hey, welcome back to GNCC Racing on Fox Sports Net. This time around, through the check, they'll be stopping for gas, and there is Duvall Boric blast by.
Yeah, Chad, he jumped in here real quick. He saw one guy going for the gas. The other guy put goggles on him. He was in and out of there mighty quick.
They do not waste time when they're getting the gas. Look how fast they pull in. They use quick-fill cans and pull back out and into the fray.
Yes, if they don't have a problem, they're only in there about 5-8 seconds max. And out on the grass track, Curtis Crump and Jeremiah Jones. And Curtis, he's doing a great job considering Jeremiah Jones. He's the motocross man. He should be good in these open spaces.
You would think. Jones is trying. There's no question about that. And here comes Yoakley.
Well, Yoakley is on a charge. He's in a big hurry. He is all the way up to 7th place already, Larry. He is moving out there.
Yoakley suffering some kind of problem in the earlier going, dropped back as far as 19th position.
Yes, he's got that Team Green Kawasaki fired up, pointed in the right direction now. So whatever was the problem, he's got it corrected, and he is making up time.
And Jeremiah Jones pulls in, pulls back out, and he will join the fray one more time. Lap number 3.
Oh, Chad Duvall, he's excited out there. He's being chased by Chris Borich there. These guys have a great race going up front. Brad Page, he's moved up into the 4th position already, so that's the kid that's been on a hot streak. He's keeping moving.
And Bill Balance apparently losing just a little bit of time in that pit stop. I thought he was kind of casual pulling out.
You know, too, another guy I noticed in there was Jeff Seagot, and Jeff did not stop for gas that time through. So that's what's moved him up here into this 3rd place position.
So Seagot becomes a contender. Let's hope he does not pay for it in the worst kind of way. That would be running out of gas. That would be, what we conceivably would look for. As these mechanics and the riders measure the gas. They know how far they can go, and frankly, I'm surprised that they all stopped with the exception of Seagot.
Yeah, and it's weird when, the top 5, 6, 8 guys stop, and you're the only guy that doesn't. Either you really know something, or you screwed something up.
Here's Yoakley on the gas. He is fired up.
Yeah, he's been making the big charge. The leaders there up front there, they've got a big pack racing. And with those guys up front racing, they might hold one another up every once in a while because you have to protect lines. And wow, look at them coming around that corner there. Jeez, look at the speed they are carrying. So that might let William get a chance to get a look at these guys later in the day.
Borich looking for that lead. He held it earlier, then got tangled up in a tree, and he dropped back to 6th place. And now again is challenging for the number 1 position as we watch Yoakley go through and make up some time.
Yeah, Chris has really put on a charge. I thought when he got hung up there and got a ways back, he would be in trouble for the day, but he's made up time really quick, got back with the lead pack, so he's in a good position right now to win this race and win his 2nd GNCC of the year.
Well, we'll watch Curtis Crump make it around the corner and send you to the pits where Jen Hildreth has a report.
Larry, I'm here in Chad Duvall's pits with his mechanic, Dennis Wall, and they are excited down here. He's running a great race out there.
Yes, he is. I hope he can keep going like this. This is the first one that we might be able to pull a win on, so I hope we can do it.
Well, Chad's been on the podium but has yet to get a win. Did you guys discuss strategy if he were to get out front?
Not really. Just got to ride the bike. We've been having problems with chops, and we might have it down now that he can do it.
Well, another guy riding hard out there is Jeff Seagot, and Bob Walker standing by in his pits.
Thanks, Jen. Jeff Seagot's running up in the top 5 today, which is not an unfamiliar position for Seagot. Seagot's last podium finish was at round 2 in Macon, Georgia. Every time Seagot's been in the lead group, he's had bike problems towards the end of the race. Seagot's trying to get back up there on the podium today, but will his bike hold out?
Well, another question mark might be, will his fuel hold out? Look at these guys go.
Man, they are in a jumble out there. These guys are racing hard. The cooler temperatures has them all refreshed and ready. Oh, Chris Borich, he snuck around Duvall for the lead right here, Larry.
Borich is in the number 1 position. They're all taking that right-hand line, except that was Seagot, and Seagot made a little mistake there.
Now you know why those guys were taking the other line, Larry. Seagot, that line would have worked, but
Seagot's bike is stalled.
Yeah, what's happened to him there, he charged into that too hard, just splashed a bunch of water up and probably got a little water on the air filter and just drowned it out for a quick second. Now he's back going again, but he lost 3 places right there, Larry.
And conceivably, he could have lost more than that. His goggles are a mess. I don't know how he'll see. You don't want to take your goggles off, but occasionally it has to happen.
Well, one thing, too, because he hasn't pitted yet, he might want to take some more risks because he knows he's coming in the pits this lap. He can get fresh goggles. But what he did there, that was just a rookie mistake. He just charged in there. He knew that was that deep. He should have never done that.
From our core moto cam, you saw Seagot trying to get his quad started to jump back in this race. But boy, oh boy, Seagot really paid the price for that mistake. It was a mental mistake. Mark, another lead change. Brad Page has jumped to the number 1 spot.
Yes, Brad, he kind of got a little bit of a bad start, and all day he's been moving to the front of the pack, and we've seen him there a lot lately.
You're watching GNCC ATV Racing on Fox Sports Net, and here is the Racer X running order. On Fox Sports Net, you're watching ATV Cross Country Racing, and there is Jeff Seagull.
Yeah, Larry, Bob Walker, he just talked about it earlier, how every time Jeff has run up front this year, he hasn't been able to stay there. He's had a problem, you know, either bike problem, rider problem, and out there on the track, he's either got water or fuel problems. We saw him in the water, and we saw him skip fuel, and as they put out the 2-lap card, Page and Balance, they got a heck of a race going on.
Page is the leader. Brad Page, followed by Bill Balance, the defending champ, looking to make it 2 in a row.
Oh, Balance, he's pulling in the pits to get some goggles. Looks like Brad Page has been covering him up back there.
Now, he only needs to finish 7th place, so I think he's probably taking it a little easy. Doesn't need the win, so let's get some fresh eyes out there. I can see the track again, and stay out of trouble that way and go for the championship. I don't say that he has given up the win by any means, but I think that he's playing it cool, he's playing it smart.
Yeah, from the last race we saw, this is a huge improvement on Bill Balance's riding technique today, or riding strategy. As we jump on board with the Core Moto Cam, we'll chase Bill around and see what he's doing here to try and wrap up that title.
I'll tell you what he's doing here. He's going fast like he always does.
Yeah, he's doing a great job chasing Brad around here, keeping some pressure on him, and like you said, if the opportunity presents itself, he'll take the win if he can get it today.
Well, this is round 12 of 13 as we watch our defending champ hightail it through the woods. It's time to find out what the rider plans are for next year. So that is the subject of our Cannondale Rider Spotlight. What are you going to be doing next year, guys?
You know, everything's looking pretty good. I'm kind of overwhelmed on the offers this year. I've never had this kind of experience early in the season, you know, and still racing. I'm trying not to focus on that, you know, and try to get through this year and have fun. But, you know, it looks like next year it'll all be back full force.
I hope to keep riding the Kawasaki next year. I hope they carry on with the program. I'm really happy with the way things are going. They've been really supportive behind me, and all my sponsors have. And so if everything carries over well, I hope to be sticking with the same program.
We plan on coming back and running another round. I think that might make 10 years, and definitely got to do it again.
Kim Cooley always smiling. Chris Borich into the pits, and he is not smiling at all.
No, they're working on the brake there, Larry. It seems like the young kid's had a problem here, and he had a heck of a ride going. Got himself into trouble early, but then got the ship righted. Now he's got some more problems. And speaking of problems, here comes Jeff Seagull. Finally got that machine fired up and running. Johnny Gallagher there giving him some advice, trying to help him out also. Remember, Johnny, he was on the starting line when this thing started.
So Gallagher out of the race. Seagull is back into it. I would guess then the problems were more water-related than fuel if he got it started again. And Borich, well, who knows? Tough break for that young man. He was going extremely fast. Battle for the lead, Page and Balance. Balance right back in it. The defending champ, I think, has in his mind, I'm going to alter my thinking from the early part of the race and saying he was super conservative to now he wants to win. And what happened? Oh, there he is. I thought Page had dropped into a hole and disappeared.
Now that's that line over there to the left side of the screen that those guys used earlier in the race to pass Balance. Balance is still sticking with the other line, but being very conservative there.
Well, they aren't getting through that particular part of the racetrack with any speed at all, and it looks like you had best be careful no matter which line you choose. Up out of the gully comes Balance, still giving chase.
Yes, and as you recall, the one guy that we did see get aggressive down here was Seagull, and he had big problems after that. Chad Duvall, he's dropped back to 3rd place, and he's getting company with Matt Smiley right there.
Smiley right on the rear wheel of Chad Duvall. And the favored line still is to the left part of the screen. That would be to the riders right. Here comes Yoakley, who is now in 5th place. So Yoakley is still moving up. He was back as far as 19th. It gets a little bit tougher to pass the closer you get to the front.
Yes, but he's got some guys right in front of him, so if he can keep pushing hard here, he could be on that podium before the day's over.
There is Bill Balance as we go on board with our Core Moto Cam.
Yes, we're right here behind defending champ Bill Balance, and Bill, he's doing a great job out there today. Just kind of hovering in those top spots, putting a little bit of pressure on Page. Would like to win this race, but if he doesn't win the race, he's going to win the championship.
Yeah, Mark, you know, it seems not to matter wherever Bill is running, the one common factor is he is under control. He's riding extremely smooth. Here is a Fox Sports Net Racer X running order. Hey, welcome back to Fox Sports Net, ATV GNCC Racing. Mark, race reset.
Yeah, we've got some big action up front with Page and Balance, but the fastest guy on the track right now, Team Green's William Yoakley. He's pouring it out there.
Yeah, 8th place on lap 1, but he was back as far as 19th. Our leader, Brad Page, running into number 2 position, and here he comes, just cresting the hill, is the defending champ, looking to make it 2 in a row. He'll take that corner, and we will take a trip to the pits and Bob Walker.
Guys, Chris Boris had the lead at the 5-mile mark, then all of a sudden he started falling back. Chris, what happened to your bike?
I lost my rear brakes and the caliper came off.
Just ripped right off?
Yeah, it just ripped off now. We came in and got one off my practice bike. Hopefully I can get back out there and get some points.
How are the conditions out there?
That's pretty nice. Not too bad at all. It's a hookup track. Lines are getting nice, so you can just hit the berms and go.
Now, I know before the race started, everyone's concerned about the mud holes and the water pits and all that. Were they as bad as everyone expected them to be?
The one was, but the other 2 weren't too bad at all.
Lappers causing problems at all, or?
No, not at all.
Guys, sounds like conditions are great out there. Boris's bike is ready to go. They're throwing the seat back on it. Chris is going to go out there and try and salvage some points.
Mueller, I love to see this in a young rider. Most kids would be throwing their helmet, having a tantrum, but he's worried about points. He's back on that ATV and he's going after it. And speaking of going after it, look at these guys coming around this racetrack, Larry.
Oh, that was a lap rider that was just passed by Page and by Balance. They must have been going 25 miles an hour faster. That was that incredible corner that we talked about. And here is Yoakley in 4th with the ball still. Look at Yoakley. Look at him split the trail.
Yes, he picked a little different line there, and he's been doing that a lot today, and those lines are working for him. He's using great vision there, keeping a good eye on the track. And Smiley, with that bad thumb, he is doing a great job out there today.
Behind Bill Balance with a core moto cam, and look at Bill haul the mail.
Yes, Bill is really moving through these tight, slippery sections of the woods here, and he's just hoping for a mistake from Brad Page, because that's all he's going to need.
Take a look at our CD Boots Thrill Seeker shot of the day, and oh, that is Kenneth Tincher. He not only got thrown over the bars, but he got run over in the process. Now, here's the good part. Here's the good part.
There's the good part to that?
Yes, he's sitting up, and he was all right. He did not get permanently maimed like it looked like he would go. We're on the final lap. Bill Balance is our leader. He has taken the number 1 position, and Balance went to the right this time.
Boy, the first time all day, he's been past there a few times today, so he said, man, there's something over there must be working right. And he's gotten through, but Brad Page, he's right on his tail.
It is a little bit soupy and wet, and when he came out of that section, he took an immediate left and went to the left side of the mud hole. He didn't need to do that, but of course he didn't know. Look at this, 2 separate lines.
Boy, William Yoakley has just been riding fantastic today, all the way back from 19th, and he's still trying to get a few more guys before the day's over. And Bill Balance, he is stretching it out here, heading towards the finish.
So Brad Page looked like he had one wrapped up, but Bill Balance, as he has done so often this season, has taken over the front runner's position and is on his way, if things go as normal, to the win. There's Chad DePaul, who's still in 3rd place. William Yoakley, though, charging and closing, and Yoakley can see a podium.
Yes, he can, and William, man, he just rides with a bunch of gusto out there. He never backs off for anything, so if I'm Chad, I'm not waiting for anything right now, because he's going to be coming.
Did you see that casual, very casual look over the shoulder on the part of Bill Balance? Look, there he goes again. He's just making sure that no one, well, they'd have to cut course behind him. Maybe that's what he's looking out for.
No, Bill, he's looking out, wondering probably how much he's going to celebrate when he wins his 2nd championship.
He's still looking. Here comes the checkered flag for Bill Balance. He will take his 2nd consecutive championship. What was that all about?
He wanted to see if that guy wanted to go another lap, but boy, that Bill, he's the consummate champion. Look at that. Wins the championship and the race all in one shot. What a ride by Bill today.
And here is Yoakley. Mark, Yoakley has gotten around to fall.
Yes, he has. William's been on the charge, and he never backed out of it, and he got around Chad somewhere around that lap, near the end of the lap, and he's going to be in there from third place. Another nice podium finish.
Hey, he was out in the woods and smelled podium, and that was enough to grab a bigger handful. Hey, we'll be back to hear from the winners. GNCC cross-country racing on Fox Sports Net has been brought to you by CD Boots and by KTM Sport Motorcycles. ATV racing on Fox Sports Net, and Mark, it gets no better than that.
No, the front three guys, they provided us with just outstanding racing today. They mixed it up back and forth, and Bill Balance, you know, can't say anything more about him, two-time champ.
We're going to take a look at the finishing order on Fox Sports Net. See when we turn the page that we'll have Chris Borage in the number 9 position, turn it a couple of more times, and we're going to find Jeff Seagat, two of the prominent riders that figured into this race. He was 19th. Let's go to Jen Hildreth, who was standing by with Brad Page.
Guys, our winner from last round, Brad Page, looked like he was going to get 2 in a row today. It was out front for a while. Brad, were you disappointed to come in second behind Bill?
No, I'm tickled to death. You know, it ain't no embarrassment to get beat by any of these guys. They're all fast and really hard riders, and it just, you know, it feels good to be here in second.
When did Bill get you?
About 3 miles from the end on the very last lap. I got hung between 2 trees trying to pass the left rider, but, you know, he just went to the outside and got us both there.
Brad Page finishing second today, really been coming on strong these last few rounds. Let's go to third place now with Bob Walker.
Thanks, Jen. He was the fastest rider on the track for the last 3 laps of the race. Third place finisher, William Yoakley. William, you started off pretty good. Mid-pack start, 7th, 8th place. Then you just kind of disappeared out there. You fell all the way back to the back of the pack. What happened?
Yeah, me and Bill, we kind of got the banging around on the start, and I didn't come out the whole while like I wanted to, but I got over here in the woods, just right about a half a mile into the woods, and I was dicing him back and forth with Jeremiah Jones, and some guys pointed me to the line to the inside, and I went in, and I didn't think, I thought it was a little quicker, but we came together at the same time, and we hit, and we both kind of got stuck, but fortunately my front end got up under a bank and some roots and stuff, and pretty much the whole class went around me while I was sitting there, so it wasn't so hot of a line, and I was just riding my brains out from there, going through with riders here and there, but first couple laps I was kind of wild. I was trying to ride too hard, and I was killing my motor and kind of overshooting turns, and I just kind of told myself, hey, you ain't going nowhere like this. So I just kind of like mellowed out and just got back in my own rhythm and took off, and catching them one by one, and you know, of course, my roll design Kawasaki just worked awesome today, and tires hooked up great, you know, and Chris the motor pulled awesome through the woods, and everything worked well. You know, if all 5 laps would have went like the last 3, I might have been on top, but I'm happy with this.
Great, thank you, William.
You're welcome.
Great ride as we take a look at the point standings. Balance is the champion, but look at the battle. The next guy's over 3rd place. Let's go to Jen Hildreth. She's with Bill Balance.
Guys, Bill Balance is now a 2-time GNCC ATV champion. He clinched the championship with the win today. Bill Balance, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. It's been a good year. It's been a good race, and it's a good way to win the championship by winning a race. You know, I'd like to thank the Lord. It's been a good season all year long, and hadn't got hurt too much through the year, and been able to ride like I need to win. I'd like to thank all my sponsors: Klotz, Maxxis Tires, LRD Motors, Lone Star Chassis, Roll Design, Tag Handlebars, Moose Racewear, Smith Goggles, Alpine Stars, and AC Racing, and Douglas Wheel. The list goes on and on. I'd like to thank all those guys. It's been a great season, and looking forward to trying to go to Ironman the last race of the season. I've never won there, and I'd like to try to get a win there.
Well, now, Bill, you knew coming into this race 7th place or better would get you the championship, but you didn't seem too conservative out there.
Well, you know, I was trying to play smart and trying to watch my tires and not get no punctures, trying to be easy on my motor and everything, and just trying to play everything safe. And I got behind Brad, and he was setting a real good pace out there. And I knew if he just stayed with him, the pace he had set, we'd pull away from everybody, and that's what happened. And I was pretty content with myself being in 2nd place there in the last lap, and he just happened to make a mistake, and I was able to take advantage of it and get a win today.
Bill's now the 2-time champion. We'll see if he can get win number 7, his first win at that location next round. Back to you guys.
Well, thanks, Jen, and we will congratulate Bill Balance. He did an outstanding job. Hey, remember that Blackwater stuff that we looked at just a few moments ago? Well, I want to tell you that my broadcast partner, Mark Hyde, won that race on 4 occasions. Mark, any thoughts about this one?
Oh, this was just fantastic, but I'm looking forward to the Ironman. We got 3 guys that still want that number 2 plate.
Oh, it's going to be good. So for Jen Hildreth, for Bob Walker, and my broadcast partner, Mark Hyde, I'm Larry Myers. So long, everyone.